Hey guys, this is Kyle. I'm the developer of XMRGUI. Just wanted to give you a quick tutorial on how to use it. Hopefully it'll answer some of the more common questions I've been getting. This is going to be kind of basic in the beginning, so if you know about mining and all of that and you just want to know what's specific to XMRGUI, you can skip ahead. But before you do that, I just want to show you one of the more important things here in the beginning. Yeah, if you're not familiar with this, I don't have a certificate yet, so just basically click more info and then run anyway. One of the more important things is if you are having any problems with XMRGUI, if it freezes up for whatever reason and you're not able to get it to work, there is no uninstaller yet. So to uninstall it, you're basically going to go to your app data folder, which is your hard drive, users, your username, app data, roaming, and then XMRGUI, and you can just delete the folder. Once you do that, you should be able to reinstall the program with no problem. Okay, so when you first download the program, right now these buttons really don't do much. If you click beginner, they'll give you a little tutorial on how to find a wallet and a pool, that kind of thing. So if you're not familiar with it, basically you need to choose whatever coin you want to mine and get a wallet for it. There's an easy mobile app you can download. You can just search for Monero. And then you need to find a pool. So a pool is basically a group of other miners that it's going to end up helping you get paid more frequently. You don't have to find your own pool. You can use the one that's built into XMRGUI, which is support XMR. But if you do prefer to use your own pool, basically you just need the pool URL, the port number, and then you need to find out whatever password the pool wants to use. A lot of times it's just X, but sometimes you can customize it and use your own. This is basically just showing the new features for each update. So when you first start up XMRGUI, this is going to be what you see. If you want to get started mining right away, you can just change your XMR address to your own and click mine. One of the things you should probably think about before you start mining is how you want to use it. Whether you're going to manually mine every time, if you want it to automatically mine when you're not using the computer, or if it's a dedicated computer that is only going to be used for mining. So once you've decided that, you can kind of set it up here in settings under set and forget. If you only want to use it when your computer is idle, you can enable that. And if this is a dedicated computer for mining, you can do it on startup. Otherwise, you can just manually start it. If you want, if you want to use your own pool, it's pretty straightforward. Enter your pool URL, your port, and then your password. Chart interval is just going to be for how often this chart refreshes. One of the more important things that you should probably take the time to learn is how to use manual config files. So basically, there's three settings here. There's automatic, that's going to attempt to get the best hash rate possible, but at the same time, your computer's going to respond pretty slowly. You can choose manual CPU and then change the number of threads, and you can't go too high. It will make sure that you're not going to completely lock up your computer. And then the third is config override. So usually I recommend everybody learns how to use this. Once you select that, just click this config override button, and it's automatically going to detect whether you have one GPU, two GPUs, and there'll be different boxes for each. Right now I'm just doing this on a CPU only computer. These text files are the same thing as XMR-stak, so if you need to ask around and look for advice on how to set them up, just ask for how to configure XMR-stak. And once you're done, just click save. The next thing is going to be profiles. So with profiles, you're basically able to save everything. All your pool information, your configuration for your GPU, CPU, all of your settings, whether you're using hash rate monitoring or not, everything will be saved into a profile. So basically just select the profile you want to save to, change all of your information, and click save. If you haven't run yet, it will throw that error. If we switch to automatic, it'll automatically run the miner to generate all of your information first. So once you've saved your profiles, up here under settings and profiles, you can set them as default, so it'll get run automatically. You can rename it. Pretty basic. So when you first start mining with XMRGUI, basically it's going to start mining to developer pool first. So you'll see that this URL changes to pool.xmrgui.com. And depending on what you have the dev donation set to, it'll mine for that number of minutes and then switch over to yours. So if you want to change that, just go up here to settings and then donation level. It defaults to 2. You can turn it down to 1 if you want. And if you want to completely remove it, you can compile it from GitHub. The next thing that's important to check on is when you first fill out this information and start mining, if you're not getting any hash rate for some reason, check over here in the text tab. It'll usually throw some kind of error if something's not right. Usually towards the top, so you can scroll up here. This middle tab, pool statistics and chat, it's not complete yet. Eventually it'll support more pools. Right now it's only with the integrated pool, which is support XMR. Basically, as long as your address is in here, your stats will show up. And then there's also a support chat here if you want to ask people questions. Okay, so the last part of this will be hash rate monitoring. So basically what this does is if you have an AMD card or really any card that tends to crash or the hash rate tends to dip over time, this will basically keep track of your hash rate, and if it drops below a certain threshold, it will restart mining automatically for you so you don't have to worry about it. It's probably a good thing for just about anyone to use this. The default is set to percentage. So basically what that means is if you're mining at 800 hashes a second and your hash rate drops 5% below that for more than 3 minutes, it will get restarted automatically. Percentage is good for quick drops or if your GPU is completely crashing, that'll work just fine. And then if you're getting gradual hash rate gradual hash rate drops over time, you probably want to switch over to hashes per second and just set it to something below whatever your average hash rate is. You can also use this to start another program if you wanted to set it up to overclock for you. Like the bat file from JJ's, you can just basically enable this, choose your program, you can specify some arguments. Just a good idea to test it beforehand. And this will basically just open up whatever you've selected and make sure it's working correctly. Once you've got that set, pretty much just click Save and Enable, and you'll start seeing that hash rate monitoring is active. It's saying lower hash rate is detected right now because we're at 0 hashes a second, but it's not going to restart mining because we haven't actually started it. Other than that, it's basically just you can change your chart color if you want. This will be your primary hash rate. You can turn on and off the tray icon. And then there's some resources if you need to get support. I think that's about it. If you guys have any suggestions, or if you're getting bugs for any reason, it really helps me out if you let me know. You can let me know on the website with a live chat, or you can post it on the subreddit.